The first is that I would ask you, Commissioner, to draft a letter to the Attorney General's office that we would approve, that would ask for advice from the Attorney General's office on this double taxation issue. I really believe that, you know, barring this, we really don't want to exclude anybody from this service, and we don't want to end up in court. And I see the possibility, you know, failing mediation, that we end up in court, and we could end up in court on a number of different issues. So I would like to try to forestall that option. And to be quite honest with you, I have a larger goal here, because I feel that consolidation is an issue statewide. The statutes themselves, Title 31, Chapter 48, itself contemplates the need for consolidation of dispatch services across the state. If our own partners are still questioning, I think there's more than one that still questions this issue of who is supposed to pay for dispatch. Let's see if we can advance that argument a little bit by seeking an opinion from the Attorney General's office on Title 31, Chapter 48. And of course, a letter of advice that would come back from that office, it's not binding. It wouldn't be binding. It is a letter of advice or interpretation of code. But I believe it's the best way to get a better handle on the statutory intent and meaning. And frankly, I can envision that the Attorney General may say that the language is not definitive, in which case, again, asking Sun Valley to reconsider through the following fiscal year would give us a chance to go to the legislature and say, you need to clarify your language. If your goals and intent are for dispatch to occur on a statewide basis, and there is confusion, even in a close-knit community like Blaine County, we need to have clarification at the statutory level. And I think this would afford us the time. We come out of the legislature in April of 2010, and still in time to do our budgets, and everybody's on a clear page. I think the state, as well as our local community, have a stake in this. We have, you know, I read the statute, and it clearly states that funding other than E911 funding needs to come from the general fund of the governing board, which in this case is us. And that has been subject to question and interpretation. It is really by E911 Commission past practice and rulings that we have arrived at this decision that, you know, if you are using the service, you have to pay into the service. The money flows through our general fund, but obviously decent, well-intentioned people are still questioning this, and I don't want to see us in court over this or having this thing drag on forever. And so I'm hoping that even if we get this a letter back from the Attorney General's office, that people will pay attention to it, and if the legislature needs to help us resolve this so that the whole state, as well as our own community, can move forward. The second thing I'd like to ask for as a condition of asking Sun Valley to reconsider is that the users group as a whole get back together and do more work ascertaining the cost and benefit of the system that they've recommended to us, and take the time to educate the city councils and the public on the program. I'm not saying they haven't done a good job. I will say that, I'm speaking out about this for the first time, I will say that I think we, as the county commission, the people that we're responsible for, all of us, have failed at some level adequately to educate people as to what was coming. This is the type of system we are building. This is what it's going to cost. You need to be prepared for this. It all happened quickly, and I acknowledge that, and I feel that I would like us all to be able to look to the users group, the people who make use of the system, to do a little more formalized work and help us to get out the word, if you will, or educate the community about the nature of the system and what it costs.